YouTube, what's up, baby? It's your boy DM Era. Here I am again with another updated deck profile. This is my new anti-meta combo stun deck I built. I've been heavily testing this deck for a while now, guys, and I've been trying to work out some of the kinks, work out some of the bricks as much as possible to kind of trim the fat on this deck. As you guys know, if you follow my channel for a while, I love stun. Stun is one of my favorite decks. I know it's not really competitive and people kind of hate those kind of cards, but to me, I'm an old school player. I find it fun. I find it enjoyable. And this deck can quite interact with the opponent. It can go first. It can go second. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it, okay? So we'll just move those out the way. And then we'll go ahead and get started. So the first thing that we're playing in this deck, I'm playing 3 copies of Amano Iwata. This is your boss, pretty much your boss monster of the deck for stun. What this does, it's a spirit monster. It pretty much states that if your opponent doesn't control any spirit monsters, your opponent can't activate monster effects anywhere. But at the end phase, its effect activates and it bounces back to hand during the end phase. 1900 body, level 4. It's pretty good. Next, of course, with any other stun deck you play, you have to play 3 Fossil Dynas. Okay, Fossil Dyna is low 4 Earth, rock type monster. Pretty much states that card face on the field, nobody can special summon monsters. It's flip face up, it destroys all special summon monsters on the field. So we don't really use that secondary effect, but the first effect to stop them from special summoning, that's where you want to be. It's a going first deck. Now let's get into the spice. Next 3 I play 3 Dinotheriums. This is an old school card. People forgot about this card, but pretty much it's a free level 4 body. If you can special summon this card from your hand, and if you do special summon it once per turn, your opponent can target with level 4 monster in either player's graveyard and special summon that target to their side of the field. So that's kind of a bad thing. But if you play one first, it doesn't really matter because you're not going to have any level 4s that your opponent can just be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna take this for free. But if you link it with Amano Iwata, it doesn't activate. It special summons for free. It's an inherent summon. It doesn't activate if a mono is on board as well. So we'll go that way with it. We're also running 2 copies of Photon Thrasher, just a free body, level 4 body. This deck does a lot of XZ summoning, so yeah, we'll go that route. I'll play the 1 Photon Thrasher. If I have Photon, or Photon Advance, I'm sorry. If I have Photon Thrasher on the field, I can special summon Photon Advance for free. And if not, I can just normal summon them. So the normal summon comes in handy sometimes too, depending on your hand. Next, I run the Dangers. I run 2 Chupacabras. And then I run 2 Mothman. Then I run the 1 White Dragon Wyvern Buster. Just in case if we have a Dark Monster in Grave, we can banish it, special summon this one for free. And then, of course, I run the 1 Collapse Serpent. I thought this was pretty cool. If I have a Light Monster in Grave, which I have some lights, I can just banish it off and special summon him for free too. And then for hand trap wise, I run 1 Joel Lock. I think that's pretty good for meta call. Skullmeister. Skullmeister is probably my new favorite hand trap because a lot of the graveyard centric decks, True Draco, Salamangreats, anything that has like graveyard effect, and it doesn't just negate monsters, it negates spells and traps. So especially against like True Draco, they like to pop your back row and stuff. You could send this card from your hand to the grave to negate that. So that slows your opponent down. And then of course, Area the generic 1 Ash. So the only reason why I play 3 hand traps in this deck is because hand traps are cool, but to me they just cause a lot of breaks and a lot of inconsistencies in the deck. So I just run just 3. And that's it for the monsters. So with that, we'll go next into the spells. We have to run 3 call by because focus. Okay. We have to run 3 call by because with this deck, we don't want to get hit by Ash at all. Okay. So we have to run 3 call by. I run 2 Pot of Desires just for consistency, and it's always better playing with a 20 card deck instead of a whole deck. Also play 3 copies of Moonmare Shield. That's always good to beat over anything your opponent controls, especially the power of your Fossil Dyna. I also run 2 Instant Fusions. I find Instant Fusion to be pretty good in this deck because you can also special summon the level 4 from your extra deck, or like the Restrict Eyes to snatch your opponent's monster or stop Ash, especially in Master Rule 5. I run 2 Mystic Minds. Okay, the card that everybody loves to hate and hate to love. This card is this is just a utility card. I don't really use this to sit on and just waste time. This is just a utility card to keep a model on board, or to, if my opponent has 4 or 5 monsters, it's just a utility card. That's all it is. Let's hold them back. And then I play one Necro Valley. I find that in this format now, especially with spirals and stuff like that, I find that Necro Valley is good again. In these decks, especially after the ban list, stop a lot of cards from coming back from the graveyard, banish it from the graveyard. It's a really good stun card, so I think Necro Valley is good back again in this format. Then, of course, the one Terraforming to search it out. Also, I play Rhoda to search out my Photon cards. That's pretty good, just a one-off in the deck. And then, of course, I play Monster Reborn just to bring back one of my 4s, or bring back my opponent's 4s if I need to. So we got that. And then, of course, I play the Double or Nothing. Yes, we are playing the Utopia Double package in this deck. That is one of my win cons in this deck. It's pretty good. So that's it for these spells. Let's go into the traps. The traps, I mostly play, I play 2 Armory Calls. I love this card. This card is actually crazy coming out of Initial Assault. I got the super rares. Pretty much this is a spell speed 3 trap. It's almost like, it's like a trap trick for equip spells, but you're not banishing it. All you're doing is you just pretty much call a equip spell from your deck, and then that same turn you can activate it. So you just Armory Call Moonmare Shield, you can play it, and then the effect activates during a damage step. So if your opponent is trying to attack over your Fossil Diner, you activate this, play Moonmare Shield on it, and then the effect damage activates, or the effect activates during a damage step, and your Fossil Diner will beat over your opponent's monster, because Moonmare Shield, that's when Moonmare Shield activates, is during the damage step. So yeah, 2 Armory Calls. So essentially this is like 5 Armory Calls in the deck, so it's pretty good. Then, of course, one of my favorite, Curse Seal. This is a going first deck, as we can say. So if we can establish Curse Seal and a spell in our hand, we can unlock out one of our opponent's important spells for their combos or anything like that. So this card is crazy, and it's completely insane. So that's it for the traps. Let's go into the extra deck. This is where we come alive at. Okay, this is where stun is different now. It's not just the generic set 1, play 1, set 5, protect castle stun. I don't like that anymore. So first we play Gallant Granite. The deck is circled around this card. So pretty much what it does is it just takes 2 level 4 monsters. You can attach one material from this card and activate one of these effects. You can add a rock monster from your deck to your hand, or you can special summon a rock monster from your hand in face down defense position. So either I can use this to add a Mono Waddle or Fossil Diner from deck to hand turn 1, or I can just set Fossil Diner from like special summon Fossil Diner from my hand in face down defense position. So you don't really use that secondary effect, but that first effect's pretty good. Plus, this can also search out Nibiru, which everybody knows anyways. But this is good for setting my board, because I usually go him, and I usually go Fossil Diner or him and a mono and set up Mystic Mind, and then pass turn. Be like, hey, what you got? So that's what I usually go into there. Also, they say Utopia Double package. We got Double and Utopia, so that we can OTK our opponent. Go in a second. Run Abyss Dweller, just in case if we don't open up really too strong, we can at least lock out their graveyard effects and a Fossil Diner. And then the one Castel, I find that Castel was pretty good for shuffling back, problematic monster my opponent can turn back to the deck. This 2 is generic rank 4 XZs. Then I play the one Honor Arc, so that we can suck up anything crazy. This is just like a 1,000 Astral Strict, that's all, but it's pretty good though. And plus it protects itself, so when you suck it up, your opponent tries to attack over it, you can detach one to keep it on the field. And then, of course, we got Super Poly Targets next. Of course, I play the Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon for Cyber Dragons. This format is low everywhere, so I got to be prepared for everything. And then, of course, I run the Chimera Tech Mega Fleet Dragon. I run Duplexer Chimera for Cyberse. Of course, Starving Venom for Super Poly and Dark Monsters. I run Predator Plant Triff. Odd Eyes Vortex for Pendulums. And then I run Mud Dragon the Swamp. I usually go into Mud Dragon the Swamp more than anything else, because he's a level 4 and you can use him as XD material. So yeah, I usually go into him. Then I play Millennium Eyes Restrict. Yes, this card is good. It's like a 4th copy of Call By. And just if your opponent try to activate a monster effect, you just chain this to it and then negate that and suck it up. Then of course I run the Thousand Ounce Restrict for going second. Usually I say just suck up problematic monsters. So yeah, that's pretty much that. So that's the extra deck. It could still use some help, but for the most part, I find it pretty well. Let's go into the side deck, see what we got in the side. So side, I run one Super Poly. Since Master 5 isn't really into effect, and we're watching this format, I feel like Super Poly is not as strong right now, but when Master 5 kicks in, it's going to be even stronger. So just the one Super Poly. Since Macro Dex is a thing, I run 3 Twin. Because this deck loses to light Macro Dex, so we got to stop that. Also, too, I like this card, Book of Moon, for going second. If our opponent sets up something stupid, this card can actually bait out a negate, and it can it can flip a monster face down. But if your opponent has a negate, it forces their negate. So if your opponent has like a Odd Eyes Vortex or a Hope Harbinger, you could play this, attempt to flip it down. Once they bait out the negate, then you can play. So it's usually good to bait that out so you can play Mystic Mind, so you can OTK your opponent. But yeah, I just play that for just a bait. Let's see. Also run 3 Evenly. Like I said, this format is just all over the place right now. So Evenly is pretty good. Depends on like trap based decks. I run the one Royal Decree. Red Reboot. Sorry, I won the one Red Reboot. And I also run 3 Royal Decrees. Yeah, I know you guys probably thinking that's ridiculous. What you run on Royal Decrees for? So the thing about it is, since Red Reboot's down to 1, and if I'm going first playing against a trap deck, I want to shut them down as fast as possible. So the combo is that if our opponent activate a trap, we can activate Royal Decree first, because then what they'll do is once they see Royal Decree, they'll chain other traps, and then what you do from there is you just chain Red Reboot to that, and that way you lock that out, and they can't activate any more traps, and then once they do that, if they set another trap, which I doubt it, but if they set another trap, you literally lock out their whole entire back row and they can't do nothing. Their back row is locked out. So, yeah, that was the strategy behind that. But yeah, we can lock out trap decks. That's the goal. And then, of course, I run the 2 imperms for going second. Depending on what we're playing against. If we go second, we can probably stop some problematic cards or slow our opponent down as much as possible. So, yeah, 2 imperms. But yeah, this deck, guys, I've tested it. I've seen a lot of results. I didn't think it was going to be as good like I thought it was, but it's pretty good. And again, guys, I hope you liked it. Please let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Please like, comment, subscribe. And always, like I said, just be good out there, be safe, have fun. And like I said, thank you again. Deuces.